Welcome to the On Par podcast. I'm your host, Drew D. Alberto from the Fabulous Winners Award Group showroom. And I don't have my guests in studio, but I think it's going to be a real treat. I've got Kip and Zane Madison, better known as the Madison brothers, streaming in from Georgia today. So welcome, Kip and Zane.
Thank you so much.
Truly my pleasure, gentlemen. We met at the PGA merchandising show back in January, and you guys had a lot of golf tournaments. You do some trick shot magic stuff, which I really have enjoyed watching on Instagram and YouTube. And you've got a lot of good accomplishments in the world of golf, and you're only 14 and 11, if my notes treat me correctly here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm 12.
He just turned 12
I just
in March.
turned 12 in March.
All right, I got the email a month ago, so that's why the discrepancy. Well, happy belated birthday, Zane.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. So, why don't we start? I want to start with your channel and your Instagram and how you got that started and what was the brainchild behind it. Talk to me about that a little bit.
So part of it was, our mission is to grow the game of golf. And we wanted to figure out how we could do that. YouTube is great, but I feel like YouTube's more for longer golf videos, like what the Bryan brothers or, Bryson does. So Instagram, we thought, great way to post some short little videos of just trick shots, growing the game of golf and other stuff like that. And it's been working so far, but that was really our main idea, was just Instagram. It's a big platform and everybody's on it. So we're like, why not just get on there and post stuff about growing the game and entertaining trick shots and stuff.
Yeah, I love that, Kip. It's been fun watching it, I'll tell you that. And what video, if any, put you on the map and got you fame, got you some serious followers, let's say?
So we made some drive, chip, and putt videos, which boosted our channel a little bit. And then I did one trick shot. You might have seen it. It was, I hit the back of the ball, bounced it, threw my club up in the air and caught it. That got a ton of views. So now we were like, we can post more stuff. And I think more growing the game now that more people are getting interested. And I made, this was one of our earlier videos that we did, but on the 18th hole at our club, the green goes like this. There's 3 tiers, and the pin was all the way at the bottom. So I was like, why not just go to the top and try to make the longest putt on the course? So we did that. That got a ton of views. So I would say those 3 videos combined, those were our most viewed videos. So that was probably our most famous videos. And when I made the longest putt, that took forever. I thought, I was like, this is only going to take 5 tries. We were 15 minutes in, we were letting groups come through, and I was like, this is way harder than I thought. And then finally I made it, and it was really cool. That was probably one of my better putts I've hit.
That's pretty fun.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into some of your golf accomplishments, let's say. And I want to hear the story. I know that, you both have been in the drive, chip, and putt in Augusta. I know, Kip, you've got a really good story from 2024 from last year. So why don't you tell me that one?
So, I'll just go ahead and jump right into that. So I always start off with Magnolia Lane because obviously, I'm only 14, but I've got to go down it twice because when he made it, I got to go. It's really a special feeling. People say, oh, golf, the Masters is so cool. But when you're actually competing in something there, it brings it to a totally different level. And when you drive down Magnolia Lane, it says members only. You think of all the people that have gone down there. Tiger Woods when he won. Rory finally completed the Grand Slam. It really gets you pumped up for what you're about to do. Chipping, obviously, I won the chipping. When we got to practice chipping, I was chipping really well. We got on the range, and I only brought my wedges and my driver. So if I ever make it again, I'm going to bring my whole set just so I can have a full range session at the members' range. But I hit a few wedges, and I got to my driver, and I will tell you, I was hitting it everywhere. I was hitting it left, right. I was like, I had to back off for a second. I was like, holy cow, this is not good. So they did like a 5-minute call or whatever for 5 more minutes. And I was like, all right, I need to really focus. Started hitting those drives great. Then we got to the actual range. And to see all the people just sitting there watching the drive, chip, and putt, and there's so many more on TV, but to see all those people watching you, it's so special. And I got on there to hit my actual drives, and I was just like, all right, I'm here. I really need to hit at least one of these in. First one spun out of it, hit a little cut, it landed out. So I was like, okay, that's not what we were hoping for, but I really need to get this next drive in play. So teed it up because you can't stop and like take a minute to. I mean, obviously I was thinking, but you just have to keep going. And I same routine because I didn't want to go fast and rush it, so I just did the same routine. Hit my second drive, and as soon as it came off the face, I was like, that's going to be in. And it was just down the middle with a little cut. And I was like, yes, 252.6 or whatever. So I was just so happy I got it in. I didn't care what place I got because I knew I was at least going to be top 7. I got second, 9 points. And then chipping, obviously I won that. I had told a ton of people before, like I did another podcast, Subpar something. I think it was Subpar. And I was just telling them, yeah, I really feel good about my chipping. So I stepped up there and I was like, well, I have to perform now. I've told all these people my chipping's the best part of my game. I won that. And on the screen on the putting, it tells you how far you need to win. So it was like 10 feet, 9 inches. So I was like, I don't even have to stress this. I hit my first putt. I don't know what happened. I think it was like 5 feet, 9 inches. I was like, that's not good. So I got to the 15-footer, and I knew obviously it was going to be fast. But I was like, I need to hit this pretty soft. So I hit it. It was just trickling by the hole, and I just gave it a fist pump. And all those people on 18, you don't realize how many people are on 18 until you're like actually standing there looking. It was crazy. People were just yelling and screaming for me. And it was just, again, it was so special to be out there. Not once did I think I was going to be out there, but to compete in the drive, chip, and putt, it just took it to another level.
That's really cool. And then Zane, you actually made it in 2022, which is what Kip was just referring to. So tell me about your experience at 9 or 10 years young when you made it.
Yeah, so the same thing happened to me on the first drive. I hit it OB by like 2 inches. It was so close to being in. And my second drive, it felt like time was speeding up. I was so nervous, but like Kip said, you couldn't stop for a minute and like kind of like regroup. You just had to hit that shot. And I hit it so good. I hit it like, I think 192. And I was just so happy I got the second one in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, guys. I mean, I gotta say, I'm envious that you got to compete at Augusta. I haven't even got my feet on the ground there yet. I'm applying for media credentials for next year, so we'll see what happens. But you know, and Kip, you have another story about Sergio Garcia.
I do. So it was actually the day before my birthday. I was going to bed, and my dad had reached out. So Benji Thompson lives in Westlake, actually. He used to caddy for Abraham Answer. But at the time, he still did. But he was like, hey, it's Kip's birthday. Just like, because I think we were trying to play with him or something. And my dad comes in the room. He says, watch this. Never thought it would be that. Sergio Garcia, is telling me happy birthday and good luck in the drive, chip, and putt. I literally couldn't go to bed that night. I was just thinking, holy cow, like, Sergio Garcia just told me happy birthday. How many times does that ever happen? Mm-hmm. So for that to happen, I was just like, holy cow, that was crazy. So I woke up the next morning pinching myself. I was like, is that real? I asked my dad, did that actually happen? But that was really cool.
And Zane, you actually met Condoleezza Rice when you were up in Augusta as well, right?
Yes, sir. She's a great person. She's just awesome.
What was awesome about her? Like, other than the fact that she's famous, obviously, what struck you as awesome?
Well, it was just great just walking off 18 green. I mean, I knew I hadn't won, but just meeting like the Secretary of State it was awesome. And she also plays golf too.
Well, who doesn't? I mean, if you don't play
Right,
golf, what's wrong?
yeah.
I mean, I still regret that I never played golf younger, and that's why I'm, hacking it up some days because I didn't learn the proper technique when I was 7, like some golfers did. And a lot of my friends can roll out of bed and not practice at all because they've been practicing their whole life. And I tell my kids are 16 and 10. No matter what else you're doing, learn golf, because if you don't make it in another sport, you can at least do business out on the golf course, which is one of the reasons I started this podcast 2 years ago, is because golf and business and networking and all these charity events all make a beautiful marriage together. And it's the best thing I've ever done for my business. And I wish I had done it 25 years before I started.
That's so true, because I mean, the people at our club, the pros, they didn't just wake up one day and was like, I'll just be a golf superintendent or I'll just be a pro up at the club. They played golf like at a young age. And, even if it doesn't work out, like the dream is to make it pro, but if that doesn't happen, I could go be a rep for TaylorMade or something. And there's so many things you can do in the golf world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. And, tell me about any hole-in-ones or any amazing shots you've had during tournaments. I want to hear those stories because we love those stories.
So I have one. I'm trying to think of another while I'm explaining this one, because I'm sure over the past 13 years, I've at least had one good shot. So I'm assuming you know what the Cradle is at Pinehurst, correct?
Sure, of course.
Yes. So we were playing that. It was the day before the World Championships. We had just played a practice round. And I was playing with my friend and a few other people. And I was like 2 under through 8 holes. And I was like, man, I really wanted to shoot like 3 or 4 under at the Cradle. That would have been so cool. So I'm on the last hole. I'm the last one to hit. The pin's all the way in the back on the 9th hole. It was, I think, 119 or something around there. And I pulled out an 8-iron. And 11-year-old me never thought I was going to make a hole-in-one, especially on the Cradle, which was pretty cool. So I pulled out my little 8-iron. I was taking practice swings, teed it up off the mat because I hate hitting off of mats, and I don't make divots. I was 10 or 11. So I finned it so bad, and I was like, that's going to be terrible. Landed on the front of the green, rolled all the way back, and I was like, that's a chance of going in. And it just dropped in the backside of the hole, lipped around, and I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I threw my club up in there, and I was like, oh, my gosh, that went in. And I ran to the hole to go pick my ball up, and my dad was like, I want to get a picture of you first. Don't take it out yet. So we got a picture of me taking my first hole-in-one out. And I have made an albatross before at my old home club. I was probably 10 or 11, and I think this one was either just after or just before Worlds because it was in the summer. And we looked at the yardages, and it was par 5. So I hit driver. It was a par 5, a little bit of a dog leg to the right. There's a bunker right in the middle of the fairway, and I pushed my drive to the left of the bunker, still in the fairway. And I was like, I don't know if I can get there in 2. But I pulled out a hybrid, my Gapper hybrid. I'll never forget that club. And I hit a cut. I started over the water because it was too much club. So I just said, I'll just hit a huge cut. So I'm a lefty. And I hit a huge cut. It hit the flag. And I honestly thought it got stuck in the flag because I couldn't see it. It wasn't on the green. Hit the flag, landed right behind the hole, went in. And I was like, did it get stuck in the flag or something? And my mom was like, I think it went in.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, there's no way that went in. And we rode up to the green, and sure enough, it was sitting in the hole. So that's a good way to go 3 under through 3 with 2 pars on the
I would say. So when you got the hole-in-one as a under 21, do you still have to buy drinks for everybody in the clubhouse, or what's the rule? Does Dad have to buy drinks, or how does that work?
No, I think my dad was buying me drinks that day, just a lemonade or something. But I was definitely not buying anything that day. My dad actually, when we walked off the green, he was like, "You gotta buy drinks." I was like, I made the hole in one. You're buying me something. So we went to the Deuce and got something to eat and drink. So that was really cool.
All right, well, now we move to you, Kip. Give me a memorable shot or a hole in. Do you have a hole in one yet or no?
No, sir, I don't.
Not yet. All right, that's okay.
Well, I actually did make an albatross. It was at a course. I can't remember which one it was, but it was on the practice round actually. And on the 17th hole, it's a long par 5. I piped the drive over a bunker. It was just a beautiful drive. Then I pulled out I think it was like a Cobra 3 wood, I think. And I hit that thing, and I hit like a big draw, which is like unusual with the 3 wood because I was like 11. And it lands on the front of the green, goes up, but it was kind of like a blind spot, and you couldn't see like the bottom of the pin. And I was like, "Oh wow, that's a good shot!" And I thought it went over the green at first. And I looked like over the green on the tee box everywhere. I couldn't find it. Walked up to the pin, and I was like, "What if it's in the pin?" And I saw it, and I was like, "There's no way!" I just holed out from like 180 yards out. It was so cool.
That's really awesome, man. Congratulations on both of those accomplishments, all three of those accomplishments. That's really cool to me. I'm still searching for my first hole in one as well. So me and Zane are going to have a race, and he's probably going to smoke me, but that's besides the point. And then, I know that the nerves had to be surging, the adrenaline had to be going, competing at this, amazing, iconic place, Augusta. Your dad shared with me that you had a lot of help from a mental coach, and they say that the most important 6 inches is the 6 inches between these things, your ears. So tell me about how that's made an effect on your game, your trick shots, your practice, everything.
Yeah. So my mental coach, his name is Joshua Spell. Shout out Josh, and we actually have a call tonight, so I'm excited to talk to him. So, so I used to, like, on the golf course, I'm sure, most people, it's so hard to control your temper out on the golf course. Like, especially, like, if you're, like, even or under par through a few holes and you just blow up, it's infuriating. But what I've learned is the more mad you get, the worse it's going to get. So there's really no reason because, one, you look like you're 5 out on the golf course slamming clubs and yelling at yourself. It looks terrible. And 2, all it's going to do is waste energy. And you can't play good if you're just beating yourself up. It's like life. If something happens in life that doesn't go your way, you can't beat yourself up. You have to pick yourself up and keep going, and you have to be positive. So that's what I would say. Like, golf is just so much like life. It's so similar because on the golf course, like I said, if you get mad, you have to just keep picking yourself up. You can't keep beating yourself down. It's just never going to get better.
What do you want to add to that, Zane?
Oh, I just think golf is just a great sport because, like, one, you like meet people all the time as you do in life, and like you get to learn like how to speak to people, and you just get comfortable with that and stuff.
Very good, very good. And then you're also a 3-time Georgia State champion, right, Zane?
Yes, sir, I am.
So tell me what you've won.
Oh, so I won the Georgia State championship, I think when I was 9 first, then 10, then 11. And I have a story about the playoff when I was 11.
Okay.
So on number 17, I was tied up with my opponent, Graham Hall. We were 1 under, I think, and I was like, holy cow, I am tied and I'm about to win my 3rd Georgia State championship. And on the last hole, it's a par 3 over the water. It's a very hard hole. And I hit it in the bunker, and my opponent hits it like about 20 feet away from the hole. And I'm hitting my bunker shot, and I'm thinking, I got to get this close or I lose. And I hit it up there to about 2 feet. My opponent hits it to like maybe 1.5 feet or just 1 foot. And he makes his putt, and there was so much pressure over that 2-footer. It was the hardest 2-footer I've ever hit in my life. And I made the putt to force a playoff first hole. I pushed my drive a little bit left, and he hits it behind a tree. And I hit it up there tight to like 5 feet. And that put a little bit of pressure on him. And he hits it right at the tree. And I make my putt for birdie, so he has to chip this in, and he chips it a little bit past the hole and makes a par. So that was probably the greatest tournament I've ever won.
I love it. I love it. And then let me ask you this. Are you guys getting sponsorship deals or already sponsored?
Kind of, yes. So TaylorMade helps us out with all of our clubs. Like, if you really like break it down, it's like clubs and equipment is so expensive. Like, especially when you're using nicer clubs like TaylorMade, Titleist, even Callaway. Everything is just so expensive. So TaylorMade helps us out with golf balls, glove, hats, etc. They give me, driver, woods, wedges, incredible discount on irons and putters. So we're really grateful for them. And also Adidas sponsors, they give me shoes that they're so comfortable. Like I've really never had a problem. I used to wear shoes and I had this huge heel problem and I didn't know what to do. And I got Adidas shoes and I wore them for just one round. And I was like, okay, Dad, you need to do something. So I had just started really playing really good golf. And my dad was like, yeah, I'll just send them your resume. And they picked me up, and I get a few pairs of shoes a year, which is really nice. So we're really thankful for them in TaylorMade.
Very cool. Very cool. Zane, they sponsor you as well? Or it's a team, or what's the...
Well, I'm not old enough to be sponsored by Adidas, but I also am sponsored by TaylorMade. And we have like local sponsors, like some of our friends that like own a business or something, and they're very helpful.
That's really cool, guys. Congratulations on all your successes. I wish you nothing but the best. And I tell you, man, I'm in a golf networking group. And once these guys hear this, they're going to be throwing job offers at you unless you guys are on the PGA Tour, which if that's your goal, God bless, go do it. But I tell you what, I'll hire you. Tomorrow. I mean, I'm in the golf business as well. As you know, you saw our booth at the PGA show and hung out with us. But I tell you what, man, I'm a very hard guy to impress, especially with, all the younger generation gets a really rough rap. They're entitled, they're lazy, they're this, they're that. So it was refreshing to me to meet you two young men that are out there doing it. You're good. You're doing well in school while you're doing all this other stuff that's way more fun. Let's call it what it is. Right. And I tell you what, I'm impressed, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We definitely will. It's so much fun to go to a tournament and be in contention and go to a tournament and be like, well, that didn't work. And so I'm really starting to turn a corner. And again, shout out to my mental coach. He's helped me so much.
Well, tell me this, and then we'll kind of wrap it up and save the rest for a future episode. But how influential have your parents and your extended family members and other mentors been to you? Talk to me about that.
So I'll go first. I'm sure he has some amazing things to say too.
He's gonna just say his big brother's the best, right? That's
of course.
Yeah.
So obviously my parents introduced me to golf, and best sport in the world. Again, like he said, you could connect with people. You can really create lifelong relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Like my dad would take me to the club every single day. Right when I got home from school, like when I was like 8, 9, he would take me to the club every single day. Doesn't matter if we were practicing or we went and played a few holes. He just wanted to make sure I was out there. And he really gave me a kickstart. And I don't think people realize how much friends can help you in golf. because those are really the people who push you, especially if, like, at our club, we have an incredible junior program. I'll play with some of my friends like Sam Rogers, Tyler Newsom. He won the Future Masters. I have so many friends up at our club, and we just push each other every day, even though sometimes we might play for money, and I might not have money, but the goal is not to lose. So if I have to, I'll take some money, but I know I'm going to win it back, obviously. But yeah, like I said, with money, it puts pressure on, and it makes it like a real match when you're going out there to play.
That's really cool. What do you got to say about that, Zane?
Oh, yeah, it's just great. And Mom does the hard part because she's the bad guy.
Well, elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, I just mean, like, she really, like, kind of, like, disciplines us and stuff. Like, she'll make sure we're going up to the golf course, practicing and playing and, like, eating well. That's a big thing because she's a personal trainer and she loves to, like, just, like, make us eat very well. And we also exercise because my mom trains us, like, usually every day around, like, 6 o'clock. And it's just awesome because we have a gym right here in our house. And just working out is just, like, it's very good. And, like, it's just very, like, because we have one at our house and it's just so cool to just go to the gym whenever you want.
Very accessible.
Well, I believe Mom's got a lot of discipline because Earl, your dad, told me Google her, and I tell you what, she was a bodybuilder in the
Yes.
videos and pictures that I saw. And you don't get to be a bodybuilder without extraordinary discipline on exercise and stretching and nutrition. And I mean, she was shredded. I don't know how she looks now, but she was absolutely shredded, ripped, whatever word you want to. You want to use.
Yes, she puts a lot of discipline into our life, and sometimes it might not be fun now, but later on down the road, when we're 30, we'll be in better shape than, I guess, some people. And it's fun to exercise. It's just, you can get away and just kind of get in your own little mindset, and that's like my favorite part about working out, because you can kind of get away and just focus. And I also try to think of it as, this is part of my golf practice too, because this isn't just, I have to work out. This is this is my golf practice. This is going to help me hit the ball farther and have more control. So every time I work out, I try to think of that, and I just kind of get in my zone when I work out.
Beautiful. And I see Zane shaking his head because he agrees with everything you just said.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. So how big a motivator is beating your brother, Zane? Tell me that.
Oh, me and him are so competitive. When we get out on the golf course, we're just back and forth.
Do you beat him?
No.
Have you ever beat him?
I have beat him once in a tournament in South Carolina. It was at Hounds Lake. So first hole, I have like a 90-footer for eagle, and I make it, and yada, yada, yada. I beat my brother for the first time.
And it wasn't a light beat. It was a whooping. He shot 31.
Well, that's very big of you to admit that.
Oh, yeah. I admit it.
So, I've done most of the question asking. Is there anything that you guys want to ask me?
How does it feel like to just be amazing all the time? I feel like you would be the
Come on,
guy.
man. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know about all the time, but I tell you what, it's really fun having you guys on the podcast, and I do appreciate the compliment.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having us on here. We've been looking forward to this for a while now.
And listen, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Come back anytime. Share your successes on the On Par podcast anytime you want.
Yes, sir. This probably won't be our last visit.
And next time you're in South Florida, I want to go play golf with you guys. You're going to have to give me, a lot of strokes, but I want to go. I want to try.
Of course. We give my dad a ton of shots, too, so maybe y'all could be on a team and rack up the shots. So
yeah, I've broken 94 times. I'm a golf for business golfer, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, listen, guys, again, a true pleasure. Thank you for your time and thank you for the compliments. I really appreciate you. If you're listening to the On Par podcast today, check out the Madison brothers, Kip and Zane Madison. It's easy to find. You Google the Madison brothers, you will find them on Instagram and YouTube. So, really appreciate everybody for listening. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you guys next week on the On Par podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
All right. I just ended the recording. We went basically perfect timing, about 30 minutes. So no complaints here, man. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. We truly have been looking forward to this and can't wait for our next time.
When's the next big tournament, and what else is coming up for you guys?
So we have a good bit of tournaments coming up. Where our golf schedule is pretty busy. We have the Georgia. My mom's holding up a whiteboard, so I'm just going to read it off. We've got the Georgia State in Stone Mountain, May the 31st, and Future Masters. That's the end of June. That's a while away. Actually,